What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be jumping into everyday carry flashlights. Let's get into it. All right, I have a bunch of lights here on the table that I want to run through really quickly. These are all flashlights that can be had for around $50 or less. I will post prices as we go so that you guys can look these up yourselves and see if they're still the same price as of the making of this video. I am going to pull out my trusty notebook so that I can make sure that I'm hitting on these correctly, because I don't want to misstate anything, and I did a ton of research. So the first one that's not on the table that I do apologize for is going to be the Olight I1R2. That one is currently on my keyring, which is downstairs. I will incorporate some B-roll footage right here of that light so you can see exactly what it looks like and the condition that it is. I had that one before the RovyVon A3 that's on the table. I really like that light, and I'm going to kick it downstairs to show you what that light looks like performing. All right, so my apologies, but the original stock video footage, for some reason, didn't come out very well. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. Here it is. Moonlight setting. I promise you guys the other recordings look much better. So moonlight, and then I will be doing demonstration on the other lights just to kind of show you like a scenario of like a tire change. Really sorry about this, guys. That is the low setting. It's not moonlight. And then when you turn it all the way in, you get a really nice flood. And it really helps with like being able to see not just what you're working on, but it gives you a lot of spill. So you can see the spill right there. And that would let you see like your lug nut and your wrench and everything like that. And then you can see after a short amount of time, it dims it back down to the lower setting, and it'll just keep doing that. Okay, so as you see there, the Olight I1R2 Pro has moonlight, and it has brightness settings that I mentioned in the video, and it retails for $21.95, but you can always find Olights running some sort of sale. We're getting ready to come up on Valentine's Day, so I'm sure there'll be some sort of Valentine's Day sale. So the next one that I'm going to jump into is going to be the RovyVon A3. This one does have a lanyard on it. I'm kind of just hanging on to this one, waiting for the Olight to kind of kick it. Both of them are not rechargeable. Both of them are rechargeable. They do not have a replacement battery. So I'm just waiting for that life expectancy on that one to kick it, and then I will switch it over to this one. This one comes with a pocket clip, or again, you can put it on your key ring. This one here has moonlight, medium, high, and turbo, which is really unique to it. So this one here, I think you click and hold. No, that click and hold is for the turbo or temporary lighting. It's a double click, and that cuts it on, and then each single click after that cycles it through all the light settings, and then hold to cut it off. So I'm going to kick that down to the garage so you can take a look to see what that one's like. All right, here we are with the RovyVon. We're still on moonlight, which you can see it's still got a good amount of throw, not too much flooding. Still a very impressive amount of throw. And you're starting to get a little bit more flood the higher lumens. And then there it is on the highest. And back down to moon, cut it off, click and hold, and that should be your turbo. And then we'll bring the ion out here. And I'm just gonna do a distance comparison. So here is the moonlight on the ion, and then there is the moonlight on the RovyVon. Surprisingly, the RovyVon looks like it has a warmer color. So we'll click to go up one on the RovyVon, click to go up one on the ion, and you can see the RovyVon still has more concentration, and it appears to be a warmer color. One more for both of these. So you're starting to see a little bit more of the whites in person. It still looks yellow on camera, There's against the RovyVon, and that's as high as I can go on the RovyVon. Yep, that's as high as I can go. So you still got one more brightness. No, we're all the way high. That was all the way high. All the way high. So more concentrated for sure. And then what we'll do is we're gonna cut the Dapper Design Ion off. We are going to change the angle here for the car. I gotta be very careful because I got the power pack. So there's the moonlight. Again, the camera's picking up the saturation. In person, it is not very lit at all. And then again, for a keyring light, a little bit brighter. I can manage with this right here. This is very helpful. This is very bright in person, not too overwhelming. Eyes are able to easily dilate. I can still function without it being over the top. And then the brightest setting, still very easy to function. I can see very well in that specific spot. And I have enough spillage to where I could probably see the lug nuts and the wrench on the ground, but I would definitely want to point it to where I was looking at. So not a lot of flood. So either one of these I would recommend for your keyring needs. I did want to cover that, and I showed why, because I think in an emergency in the vehicle, these are really nice to have if you don't carry a flashlight in the vehicle. Again, this one is the most expensive option, coming in at $32.95. I did not get the Phoenix E02R in time. That one's coming in at $25, so kind of splitting the difference, but I do like the performance of the Phoenix flashlights. So I'm going to move these aside as we go through. Keeping it with the AAA sized lights. This one here is the constant that I used, or the baseline that I used as a comparative flashlight. This one here I carry in my What Slide. I really like the size of this one. Pocket clip. It has a magnetic back to it, so you can magnetize that, set that wherever you need. And because of the type of throw that this one has, this is going to be really good for flood. It's going to have a very wide beam and show you a lot, but the LED in here is a very cool LED. This one here is rechargeable. You can take the back off, and I think you can get to the battery, but I cannot remember, to be completely honest, if it's replaceable. I don't think you can really get to it, to be honest with you. I think it's integrated as well. So this one, once it's done, I think it's done, and that's a little bit of a downer in my opinion. Let me see if I can get in. No, I can't get in from there. It looks like you might be able to get in from there, and maybe I'll check that out later, but we'll see. The Dapper Design Ion is going to be a more premium light. It's coming in at $60. It has 3 moonlight settings, and then it has 3 of the normal settings there. And the brightest light that you see is the highest of the way to get to it. There's no turbo, and it does have an SOS feature. And again, USB-C real chargeable. I don't know what happened to my little rubber booty that protects this from dust and dirt, but that's neither here nor there. This one lives in my What Slide. So let me kick it down to the garage. I'm going to show this one to you. And again, this one here is going to be the baseline for everything else on the table that you see here before you. Okay, this is about as dark as I can get it. It is 12 in the afternoon where I'm at currently. All right, so for my baseline, I'm going to start with the Dapper Design Ion. That's how the two compare. So you still have a more concentrated beam, still more flood. And then all the way back beside the camera, very dim, a little bit dimmer, I would say, than still the Ion. So I'm going to kick it up to the next highest setting for the two. So that is the next highest setting for the Ion, and this is the highest setting for the Olight. There's the Olight by itself, and you can see the Olight does have a little bit of spill. Not too much, it's still fairly throwy, and a lot less flood. So there it is against the Ion all the way back beside the camera. There is the Olight at its highest setting. So, and I can't do the two too close together, I don't think. Maybe you can see that because of the spillage on the Ion. I'm gonna kick it up one more on the Ion. So right beside the tire on my wife's vehicle, I'm kind of using these spots as a comparison. There it is against the Olight, and then hopefully you can see the two of these together. I don't know how much I'm blocking, and then we'll back out. So probably very comparable, I would say, to the third highest setting as far as brightness. So Ion, Olight. So this is how I'm going to do these comparisons. All right, so we're back. That is really a compelling light in my opinion. It does have lockout capabilities too. So you can lock it out so that you don't accidentally turn it on while it's in the pouch. So I do like that. I'm probably going to need to charge it after using it for the baseline all day. So I'm going to set this aside and do that later. You could use that as a keyring flashlight. It really has a spot for it. I mean, that's probably a spot for a lanyard, to be honest. But the only thing I warn you about is it has the magnetic back. So that could click to the keys. Just keep that in mind because that is going to be a factor for those of you that have a lot of keys on your keyring. And I'm going to be talking a lot, so I apologize for the drink midway through there. Okay, AAA. I only have one real AAA light. It's an alkaline light. I mean, I don't really like AAAs, mostly because I feel like AA's don't take a lot more real estate. Pocket, pouch, organizer, irregardless. I think these are really good for like fifth pocket and things of that nature. I consider both of these AAA lights. I really like the Ion because it's a nice titanium light for $60, like very affordable light. But for me, AAA is too small. In order to get to the clicker, I'm already interfering with the path of the light. And then in order to get the light out and protruding out, the clicker is way down in here and it's hard for me to get to. I don't really like the microstream that much. The finish on it is very nice. It has one light setting on it. I think this is an older generation too. I've had this for a couple years now. That's a testament to how well it's built. Very easy to get into. I say that and it's on there very tight. There we go. Very easy to get into, guys. You can really easily get into your AAA light, fit it in there. The construction and everything on this is very, very nice as I tap the light. My complaint about this one, though, and I've heard others complain about it, is going to be the tail switch is very hard to click. Now, I've modified mine. I actually have a very, very small wedge of cardboard, ironically, in between the tail switch and the click, the cover. And that makes it very easy. So you can half click and you can get now a temporary light, or you can more easily click it, but it's still a very stiff switch. So I don't recommend these. I don't like them. I think AA's are far superior. I think you get more performance out of them. You get a longer battery life out of them. You know, I just think AAAs are okay, and I think they certainly have a place in certain applications, especially if you're confined to space. But let's just show you in the garage how it performs. All right, next is the MicroStream, which is a one and done. So this is the alkaline version, and then as you can see, it is just all throw, very minor spillage. Here it is against the Ion, and then the Ion, let's see, let's start from the beginning. So the Moonlight, middle. So I would say pretty equivalent to the middle setting. So there you go. That is the performance of the MicroStream, whether you're looking at the MicroStream or the i3T, which at least has a Moonlight in one setting. I just don't personally like AAAs. So let's move on into the AA's. The AA's are very interesting to me, and there's an array of options out there. Some are not even on the table here today. I really like the Phoenix. The Phoenix E12 is very compact. It sits directly on the battery. And I'm going to give each of these their own review, because what I'd like to find out is if they all take the rechargeable battery. The construction is very nice on here. It has the ribbing in the middle. I really like the ribbing. It does come with a lanyard, tail cap protection. You can stand it up on that tail cap too. It's fairly stable. This one here combines, a reflector, and an optic. So you get a lot out of here. Very, very simple construction. It has a very well done pocket clip. Can go on the bill of your hat, can go in the pocket. Really easy, very straightforward, nice design. Let's take it down to the garage and take a look at the Phoenix E12. Okay, next up is the Phoenix E12. I think this one is very much like the Raylight starts Moonlight. You can see it has a ton of throw and then half clicks. Yeah, medium, high, and then low. And then I don't think double click, no, double click doesn't do anything. Half click doesn't do anything. And click and hold doesn't do anything. So we have the Moonlight. We're gonna bring out the Ion. Let me get that into Moonlight. And you can see much more throw from the Phoenix on the right. You have the Ion on the left. Half click to get to medium. Click to get to medium. A little bit brighter on the Ion than it is on the Phoenix, but the Phoenix still has pretty good, I think, a good mixture, and it is a little bit warmer. This is a little bit cooler in person. I don't know if that'll translate. And then high, and then high. So much more flood over here. Run it one more time. Moonlight, medium, and high. It's a very affordable flashlight. It is very easy to operate. So that is the Phoenix E12. Next is going to be probably one of the most popular models. That's going to be the i5, and they do have a T or an R. The T is just going to be alkaline. The R is going to be rechargeable. I did recently see a video because I was just looking to see if there's been any updates on anything where the proprietary battery, which I think is the case, I forget which side it comes out of. Sorry, guys. I think that's the case for all Olights with rechargeable batteries. I think they're all proprietary. I just have a simple alkaline in here, AA battery. Very nice construction. Got a copper threading here, and I think the copper helps just dissipate with the heat. The switch on here is very nice. Very well done. Simple click. It's got like a consistent push through the click, and it feels very clicky. Very simple to toggle through. For me, with the larger hands, I'm able to easily have the light protrude out past the hand and get to the clicker. It's almost too tight, but I do have the room for it. I can land exactly where I need to be able to operate this one. Can't stand it up like you can the Phoenix, which is a disadvantage, and this one is an optic only, I believe. Yeah, optic only. I don't see a reflector in there. No, it has a little bit of reflection on there, so that is how they're able to get a little bit of flood with this one in addition to the optic. But let's take it down and see how it performs. Okay, this one is going to be the i5T. I will bring an i5R in later because it does have a little bit of a slight bump in the highest output. So this is Moonlight. For your i5T, this is an alkaline. I do like alkaline only because it's very easy to pick up a battery really quick and throw it in there. And the way that I use these, it's not something that I would recharge very often. And then we'll go ahead into the highest setting. This one here in person's a cooler light, and it's very floody, very, very floody. It does a good job throwing out from this distance, but you can see much more floody. I'm going to go bring the Ion out here. Got to get it down to the Moonlight setting. So here we go against the Moonlight setting, and ironically, the Olight in the Moonlight setting seems warmer. And then we'll go straight to the high settings. Oops, that's my fault. There we go. High settings from this distance. I would say the Olight actually has a little bit more flood to it. As you get closer, I hope I'm not blocking, guys. I probably am a little bit. It's so hard to tell, and it's so hard to find a spot here. But let me see. Can you guys see it on the ground? No, you can't. Very comparable, honestly. Honestly, it's very comparable. So I really like the construction from Olight. They seem very, very well finished, and you know, I really like how the light eases into operation. You see how it just gradually increases the brightness on there, and the tail switches on these They're just really good. I really like the Olights a lot. This one here is unique. It is AAA sized, but it does have an outer shell. And I think the reason that they do that is for a couple of things. I think the aluminum on the interior helps to dissipate with the heat. And I think Lefty pointed this out. They do that so you can stand it, but still get tail switch operation. So you can still operate with the tail switch. Now with this one here, I recommend you move in on the pocket clip. You have it facing down into the palm to where you're kind of locked in. It does have double detent system on here, but it does still move around on me a little bit. That's one of the cons. But they have several. They have a polished, black, and then the titanium. And these can all be had for like 60 bucks. And then these all click and you have 4 cycles to go through. And I'm going to demonstrate that here in a moment. Nice pocket clip design. It does go on the bill of the hat. It can go in the pocket. Unfortunately, the way that this one's designed, the way in order to be able to get it like this with the outer shell, it does cause it to wear out a little bit on there. So you got copper threading here also to help dissipate with the heat. You have a reflector instead of an optic. And then here you have a 920 3.7 volt 14500. And I am curious, let's just check really quick before we go down to the garage. Will it work inside of the Phoenix? Because technically it is AAA size. So let's just see if the Phoenix has any type of safety programming or... No, it works. So you can take your rechargeable battery from your AceBeam, which I do not believe is proprietary. Do I have a charged up 14500, 3.7 volt, 920 mAh, AAA 14500? Let me check really quick. Let me check, because I think I have one here on the table. So we're going to do a little bit of experimenting during this, and I hope this is beneficial to everybody. So I have a 14. This is a little bit higher, so we're going to see what happens. I hope I don't blow anything out, because I really love my flashlights. 14500, 3.7 volt, 1000 mAh. Let's see what happens in the AceBeam first. Think this might be too much. It might not operate. All right, let's see here. Get to the tail switch. Yeah. So safety is not going to let that work. The proprietary AceBeam flashlight battery is going to be the only one that works in here. Let's just make sure it cuts on now. So it does have a safety switch or a safety in it to prevent it from working with anything else than the proprietary. Yeah. Yep. So only the proprietary battery works in there. Let's just really quick check if it'll work in the Phoenix. Truth be told, I bought these for my higher end lights, but let's see. Are these batteries dead? I don't think these are dead. I'm pretty sure that I charged them and my charger's downstairs. I'm assuming that these are not going to work. I'm just assuming they're not going to work. I feel like I charged these up the other day on the charging unit. So the Rider, the AceBeam flashlight battery, rechargeable battery will work in there. It could be that it's just limited how high up you can go. Let's go down to the garage while I put this cap back on, and let's look at how the AceBeam performed. All right, next up is going to be the AceBeam Rider RX. So hold on, I gotta get it into the moonlight. So there's moonlight. This one has got good throw flood combo, a little bit more precise than the Olight in my opinion as far as the throw. So here it is in flood. Here it is, sorry, I just moved the pocket clip. Here it is in medium. And there it is in high and the highest. So moon, medium, medium high, and high. So 4 settings here on this. Let me get the ion back to moonlight. I keep forgetting to put it in moonlight, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. There is moonlight. So very, very much warmer on the AceBeam Rider RX. And I'll come in a little bit. I would say a little bit more precise, a little bit more floody. Hold on. There we go. Next medium up. Gonna bring the ion up one. So I would say the ion, sorry, nose is itching, looking a little bit cooler and slightly brighter on the next highest setting. And these two are very comparable, which is crazy because the ion is very compact. I'm waiting for the ion to die, but at least I know I'm gonna be able to get a charge out of these. I did it, I'll cover this too, rechargeable on the AceBeam. All right, so next highest. Again, more throw over here, more flood here, warmer, cooler, brightest. Oh, that's as high as the ion goes. So we got an extra gear over here for sure. Extra gear over here, more throw, more flood. Okay, so that is the AceBeam. I absolutely love the AceBeam lights. It actually kicked the i5 out of the pocket organizers, out of the pouches, etc., etc. Now, before I jump into these two here, I do want to talk really quickly about alternative sizes. This is the ThruNite T1. And this one here is the Baton 3. Very, very different sizes, both rechargeable. Let's just take a quick peek in here to see what battery is in here. This is proprietary also. This is the 18350 3.7 volt. I think I actually ordered some that might be able to work in here. Let me see, because I can't remember if I bought them for this or if they're meant for the Vosteed. I really like this one here. This one lives in my garage. ThruNite has a very unique design. So this one here has a little rubber switch on it. I don't know if they've switched to a different type of switch, but I really like the rubber switch on here. And this one here, you can pinpoint accuracy how much you want to use out of this light. Let's kick it down to the garage and I'll show you what I mean. Next flashlight is going to be the ThruNite, I think this is called the T1. I'm going to cheat. ThruNite, yeah, T1. I don't know why I feel like I always forget. So this one, ThruNite, again, that unique operating system. So we're going to try to find all the way the lowest. All right, that is the lowest setting, much more dim. We're gonna try to bring it up to about comparable to the ion, and you can see you have a much warmer light over here, very, very much more yellow than the ion. So we're gonna kick it up to the next light. Give me a second, you know, that's dim. Okay, so I think that's very comparable. You have much more flood and a much more warm light on the ThruNite T1. Last setting for the ion. Hold on, you know I gotta go down and then go up. Is that comparable? I feel like that's still a little low. Hold on, sorry guys. Okay, that feels more comparable. So I feel like they're pretty comparable floods. You got a little bit more flood on the ion, a little bit more flood, just a skosh. And then you have an extra whole other set of gears going on with the ThruNite. All right, so that is the ThruNite T1, a little bit smaller than the T1, and both of these have magnetic backs, which I do like about them, and they also can stand flat. I like the fact that they have the side switches on there. I forgot to mention that on the ThruNite because they are smaller, so you know tail switches are out for these. They take up less real estate. They are roughly about the size of a AA. They're a little bit thicker than the i5 and a little bit thicker than the Phoenix E12, but not by much, guys, not by much. So if you like something that's a little bit more shallow, it's not quite so deep in the pocket, pouch, or organizer, these are going to be really, really good for that. Now the ThruNite's a little bit bigger. The Olight does a better job of keeping it more compact. Let's kick it down there and take a look at the Olight Baton. Next on is going to be the Olight Baton 3. So I think you hold for moonlight, very, very low moonlight setting, and you can just click on. There you go. And that is the low or next available moonlight. We're going to compare now against the ion. So very comparable. You got more throw over here, and it feels warmer right now over here. So that's medium. Still feeling warmer. Oops, I forgot to go up. This one feels cooler. It feels a little bit more warm over on this side. Hopefully you can see that. And then next brightest setting. And then, oh, I cut it off, sorry guys. I'm getting my controllers confused. So you got way more flood, more throw with a fair amount of flood still in it. So Olight's optics are kind of like that medium in my opinion. So that is your Baton 3. I really like the ribbing that these have on here too because they're awesome. They are smaller. It helps to have the little bit of extra traction on there. And then this is a magnetic back for charging. That works really simple too. I have one here just to show you guys. This will be red, and then when it connects, it'll turn red. Very strong magnets. Very strong. I like that a lot. This one here, a little bit different. This one here just has the dust cover, and it is micro USB or mini USB, sorry, instead of USB-C. But this is an older unit, and I think ThruNite has changed, and we'll look at that here in a second, has changed over to USB since then. But in this instance of the compact ones, the Baton, I like the form factor better. Battery life is really, really good. And as you saw, you have a multitude of color options. And I really love the moonlight setting on this one. All right, we're going to jump into the ThruNite Archer Pro. This one here lives in my organizer that is in my backpack. This is USB-C. This is a little bit of a newer model than my other ThruNite. So this one here, you unscrew the cap, you can get to the USB-C port, and you can charge it up fairly easily. We're getting a little bit of a more upscale experience here. You got aluminum tail switch on top of aluminum construction, micro milling here. I don't really like this pocket clip. I had an issue, as you can see, with getting it off. What you really need to do is you need some sort of tool. It can be in pocket screwdriver or anything like that will really help. You just got to be careful. Put your finger underneath of this one, and then here you just kind of want to push into the pocket clip, and that'll help pop it off. And you can see I just have a hard time with this one. I'm always scratching it, trying to get it on and off. I can't remember what I used the other day. I think it was just a little bit of a thicker screwdriver, and I was able to get that off. But reality is you don't really need that. This one here mixes an optic with a reflector as well, so you get some flooding and you get precision, which I really like those combos. Those seem to really do a lot for lighting. Let's kick it down to the garage. Up next is going to be my ThruNite. You're going to have to pardon me. This one has memory, and I think I have it kind of like in a medium setting. So one clicking on, we're going to go all the way down, and it'll blink when we get to the lowest setting. All right, so there's its moonlight. I remembered to put the ion in moonlight. So there they are against moonlight. Way cooler on the ThruNite. The ThruNite Archer is very, very cool. So I'm going to turn and it has more throw and less flood. As you can see there, more throw. More flood. I'm going to turn the ion up to the next setting, and then I'm going to try to find it on the Archer. Whoops, I think I passed. Oops. Hold on, let me go back down. Oh, I forget you can pause it. Okay, I think that's close. So I'm going to have to remember to click hold to go back up. So again, cooler, more precise, so more throw. This one here, not as cool. So we're gonna go up to the brightest setting on the Dapper, and I'm gonna try to match it on the ThruNite. I think that's close. Let me get a little closer, guys, and see. It's very close. This is actually warmer, this is actually cooler. It looks warmer over here, but it's actually cooler in person. I think that's because of the flooding. Okay, so there you go, very precise. And I'm gonna go low, and then we'll go all the way up. So that is the brightest setting in normal operation, so you can kind of see how much more you got there. And because of the lumens being so high, it does create a little bit more throw, and you got a little disorientation there from the reflector. You see the little line dividing out of the eye, and then I think double click to turbo. Yeah, double click to turbo, so there's an extra gear there. Very bright, and then I think hold for a very low moonlight. The ions, moonlight is higher on its regular setting, but if you double click the moonlight on the ion, is actually just a little bit lower. I know it's going to be hard to tell, but this has like a special setting for moonlights. Like it has a very dim moonlight, and then this is its regular moon, right? That's the regular one, right? Yeah, that's its regular moonlight setting. And then this is when you just click on and you hold. Oops, I went all the way up, sorry guys. Very unique operating system. I really like this as an alternative option to the double A's, but it is a little bit thicker overall, even more so than the AceBeam. You know, this one being the thickest of all of them. It's not much longer, but I do like that for the larger hands because of the fact that I can easily get this tail switch right here, and it actually this is where they start to protrude out. So really easy to click on and off, hold, and that'll get you moonlight. Double click and it'll get you turbo. Single click gets you back to the memory setting, so it does have the memory setting. The click switch on here is really good, guys. So out of all the double A batteries, we're getting ready to jump into the Raylights in just a moment. The most affordable is going to be your Phoenix. This one's coming in at about 30 bucks. Your Olights are coming in about 35, but you can find these on sale, and you can watch Amazon. Sometimes they'll run a sale on the Phoenixes as well. The AceBeams are running around 60, but they bump you up to a standard rechargeable battery, and they give you a multitude of beams versus just 2 beams. Now, the Phoenix is the best value because you do get low, medium, high, but you get moonlight, low, medium, turbo with the AceBeam. The AceBeam also being a tail switch that can stand, so is the Phoenix, but the Olight cannot be stood on the tail, so a little bit of a disadvantage there. The ThruNite gives you the most precision, and you can pinpoint exactly where you want to be on it, and I'll throw that up on the screen because I forgot to write the price of that down. To me, the best value is the AceBeam because you get performance and premium out of it, and I think it's the most interesting. The best bang for the buck is 100% the Phoenix. Now, let's jump into the LanApple from Raylight. The aluminum version of these start at under 50. This is a very simple construction. You can program it so that you can start low, go to high. You can start high, go to low. And you can also put memory on there. So if you like to always have your light cut on at medium, you can do the memory on there. Very straightforward programming, and the tail switch is super intuitive. You click to turn it on, and it starts on the moon, and you have click to cycle through all your light options. As you see, you have 4 light settings: low, medium, high, turbo. I really like this one because it's very narrow here. This, like the ThruNite, has good girth at the tail and the front, and you can very easily get to that tail switch so that you can easily point to where you want to go. This has my least favorite pocket clip, but it works really well. It goes in and out of the pocket very well. And these are very customizable. You can change out the emitter, so you can customize these very easily. You can take off the head. You can pop your pill, and you can change out your emitter if you prefer to go with a different LED. Also, these take universal batteries. They take the 14500. I have those other 1000 mAhs, but I really like the tail switch. You can customize the emitters. Let's kick it down to the garage and take a look at the performance real quick. Okay, so next is going to be one that is, it has replaced, this is saying a lot, guys. It has replaced my AceBeam, and I'm going to talk about that in the video, but this is the LanApple. So this one is the hybrid pineapple body with the LAN head. So this one here operates like a Raylight, so it just straightforward. Click to go to Moonlight, half click to go to low, medium, high. This one here is a single emitter reflector, so we're gonna bring the ion in. Gosh, I hope I can remember how to cut it on. Let me make sure I'm on the lowest setting here. Yeah. So the Moonlight is just a little bit lower and much more warm than the ion, but again, the ion has 3 or 4, I can't remember, of the Moonlight settings. So we're gonna go to low, and I think that's more comparable to the low that you're seeing on the ion. Much warmer, much cooler. All right, we're gonna go to medium. Very throwy. We'll go to medium, nope, just kidding. We'll go to medium on the ion. That actually might be high, that feels very bright. Nope, we got one more. Yeah, more throw and warmth, more flood and cool, and just so easy to operate. So there's your LanApple. I think even if you liked the AA and you wanted to go with the Pineapple Mini, it's a really good light. I have a tail switch coming in, so I'll do a video on the tail switch. I have some tritium coming in as well that I want to install. So that's where, to me, it gets very exciting, is the option to customize it. They have the they have the satin finish, the stone wash finish, and the aluminum ones, again, all start at under 50 as of the making of this video. Now that could change. I really like that. For me, the best value for money is going to be the LanApple aluminum. If you want to customize, you can change the tail switch out, you can change the driver and the emitter out, you can customize it. Like, it has the option to customize it. I'll look into the batteries to see what's going on with that. For me, my favorite flashlight right now is the LanApple because of those things, but for a year I rocked the Rider that knocked the i5 out. Bang for buck, 100% is going to be your Phoenix E12. This is 100% awesome for the money. It's going to be the cheapest, and it's going to give you the best options. And I even love the fact that they have it so that you can stand it. Like, they found a simple fix for being able to stand it. And again, when you take into comparison, when you look at AAA versus AA and what you're getting here with these, you're getting way better performance, in my opinion. Excellent build quality, and I honestly think that anything below AA just really isn't worth it, even though I do have technically this premium AA that I keep in my pouch. But I would, and no questions asked, switch this AceBeam out for that Dapper design in my organizer. Let me know what you think. I hope this video helped, and I hope, like, just kind of showing the performance helped. I am going to break it over into 2 parts. I'm going to get into my higher end, higher performance, customizable stuff in a separate video, and I just hope you guys are enjoying it. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate. I love you guys. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.